I just see us as participants. Do you see the same on your controls?
Yeah, I only saw 4 participants.
Okay.
Diana, I'm betting that the previous session has maybe run over just a bit.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably it. Well, let's wait a couple of minutes and I guess we'll start us 4. Hi, Addie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, Diana?
I'm good, thank you. Welcome. We were wondering where was everybody?
I think they're running a little bit behind, and they just told everyone now to go to the breakout rooms.
Perfect. Okay. I'll give people a minute or two and then we'll.
It looks like a lot of people are coming in now and joining.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Hi, Linda. I see you're here.
All right, let's get started. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome and thank you for coming to this panel on investing in the Pathways Mentor Program. My name is Diana Lomelin, and I'm a member of Cranberry High Noon Toastmasters. I'm the current treasurer there, and I recently finished my high performance leadership project that was centered on finding ways to improve our mentoring program. At some point, we discovered through the moments of truth that not everybody in the club have been having a very rewarding and uplifting mentoring experience. And one of the key findings was that we were not using all of the resources that are available to us through the district or from Toastmasters International. One of those resources is the Pathways Mentor Program, which is available to all of us when we finish the level 2 in any of the pathways. And that's why today we invited members of our district that had experienced the benefits of the Pathways Mentor Program, and either as mentors or proteges, to share their insights and advice on the topic of mentoring. Without further ado, I will let our panelists take the floor and introduce themselves. Linda, please take our virtual stage.
Hello, Toastmasters. I'm Linda Young, and I'm a member of the North Hills Toastmasters Club. Currently, I am one of the assistant webmasters for the District 13 website. During the Pathways rollout, I was lucky enough to be a Pathways ambassador. I achieved the Pathways mentor designation this year, and as soon as I finish up my level 5, I will be an official Pathways mentor. If you can't tell, I'm passionate about mentoring. In fact, years ago, my high performance leadership project for my DTM was updating the mentor program for our club. Well, the Pathways Mentor Program has taken mentoring to a completely new level, and I recommend it to everyone. Be sure to pay attention to Project 3 in Level 2, Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring, for a strong preview of the skills that you'll either learn or fine-tune. Back to you, Diana.
Perfect, thank you, Linda. And now let's hear it from Fred.
Thank you, Diana. Fellow Toastmasters and District 13, the best district in the world. We got a great team, great leaders. Woo-hoo. And you know why that is? Mentoring. Mentoring. I agree with what everyone is excited about here with mentoring. It's changed the way I speak. It's changed the way I relate to people, and it's changed the way I lead, and I know it can change you. Back to you, Diana, because we want to hear more from others.
That's right. Thank you, Fred. And let's see now, Jan, what can you tell us about you? Jan, can you hear us?
Sorry, Diane.
No
I saw
problem.
you said Dan. Hi, fellow Toastmasters. My name is Ryoo from North Hill Toastmaster Club. I have been with this club since 2018. The mentoring program actually benefit greatly for me. I haven't been mentor. My mentor experience is very short-lived because I only mentored one person, and his schedule changed, so he cannot attend our meeting. So my mentor experience is short-lived, but as a protege, I have a great experience talking about this mentor program really helped me. And so guess who is my mentor? Linda Young. Back to you, Diane.
Thank you, Jan. And last but not least, JR, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and fellow Toastmasters. My full name is Ryoo, and I go by JR too. I belong to two clubs, State College, Toastmasters and Achievers. I'm also playing the role as an area director, Area 22 director. So I'm really enjoying my job and my role in my clubs, both as mentor and also protege. And in my day job, I'm a professor, so mentoring is really near and dear to me. And my mentor is here, whose name is Fred. So looking forward to our conversation.
Thank you, JR. And let's get right into our first question for the panelists. Linda, why did you decide to pursue the Pathways Mentor Program? What is something valuable that you got from it?
Thank you, Diana. That's a great question. As I mentioned in my intro, I am passionate about mentoring. I've always seen the value of working with a mentor and also acting as a mentor. I can see a difference in club members who are working with a mentor and those who aren't. One valuable tidbit I got from the Pathways Mentor Program is the distinction between coaching and mentoring. A mentor is not a coach. A coach helps you achieve a short-term goal. A mentor is more like a guide to a Toastmaster as he or she works to achieve individual speaking and leadership goals during a longer period of time. It requires getting to know your protege and where he or she hopes to go. Then making some suggestions for them to achieve their goals. I'll point out that there is a great video in the Learning for the Introduction to Mentoring that shows you the differences between these two things. Back to you, Diana.
That sounds great. Thank you for your insights. Fred, can you tell us your take on this question as well?
Thank you, Diana. I would agree with a lot of what Linda said. You know, I'm starting my 22nd protege in Toastmasters this week, and she's from another district. And what I consistently see with the mentoring, the power of mentoring, it's the heartbeat of Toastmasters. We go back to what Ralph Smedley said, the two most important things are mentoring and evaluations. Mentoring really is, it's the blood, it's the life of our clubs. And when we see people dropping out, many times it's because nobody ever reached out to them to be their mentor, or maybe their mentor wasn't what they were looking for. So you just really got to connect with the proteges and find out what they want. And the good news is Toastmasters has wonderful resources. They have a protege worksheet, a success plan.
Beautiful boy.
It's really useful for both the mentor and the protege to outline what they want to get out of the relationship. So a lot of things are in play here, but mentoring is the heartbeat of our program, and we've really got to jump in with it with both feet. Back to you, Diana.
Thank you for your remarks there, Fred. Let's jump to our proteges now and hear from JR. What piece of advice can you give to a protege to get the most of the mentoring experience?
Yeah, there's some tips I'd like to share. Thank you for the question. And I think one of the tips I would like to suggest is your attitude in terms of mentoring. I think you are also, I mean, definitely on the receiving side, but there's, at the same time, you want to be more proactive. So instead of just waiting for your mentor to reach out to you, I would suggest that you try to bring these projects to your mentor and keep your mentor busy. So I think Fred probably can make a statement on that, but I have always tons of things I have questions about whenever we have these meetings. I mean, we usually have a 1-hour meeting, and the meeting is very short because we have so many different types of things to cover. And Fred is always very resourceful in terms of addressing some of these questions and concerns I have. So my real suggestion here is, yeah, be proactive and try to keep your mentor busy.
That's great advice, JR. Thank you so much. And let's go now with Jan. Can you tell us 3 personal qualities that you admire in a mentor, or even better, that you have developed thanks to a mentor?
Thank you for the question, Diane. As to Linda, Fred, and JR talking about most mentor side, and also JR certainly give a little bit about as a protege. as my own, both my experiences as a protege, I really can share the another side of this mentoring program. The mentor, basically they approach, some mentor, they approach, like my experience and Linda Young, they really approach me. Myself also proactive. Like if I need making presentation, give a speech, I write a speech, then I will send my draft to Linda to look at. As you can see, my English is my second language, so Linda also helped me correct my accent, edit my word phrases, say things properly in proper English, really helped me tremendously. Besides, I also take some role, like a small or big role when, during Toastmaster meeting. This also, even when I take this role, my mentor, Linda, will give me some guidance. And if I have questions, certainly I go ask her as well. And so after a few years, 3 years with this Toastmaster club and the mentoring program, I'm luckily our club has very strong mentoring program. That the improvements of my public speaking, just I feel like tremendous. Not only on my public speaking, but also my personal skill, like leadership skills, personal development. So one proof is recently I just landed a very great job, and because I credit the Toastmaster experience and also the mentor from Linda. So I really encourage people, if you take advantage this mentoring program, and not only just a protege, I think as a mentor themselves, also they benefit because that's a great leadership skill too. So back to you.
Thank you, Jan. I relate to your experience because English is also my second language, and it's difficult sometimes to, proofread your own documents, being an ESL. And yes, my mentor as well helped me with that. Thank you for those great comments. Let's go back to Fred. We know at times mentoring relationships are not, that sweet for everybody. So Fred, have you ever had an experience that was challenging mentoring somebody, and how did you overcome it?
Thank you, Diana, for that question. And certainly when you're dealing with people, there are challenges. Sometimes it's a mismatch in terms of personalities. Sometimes it's something as simple as schedules keep changing at the last minute, and what you had planned to do has to get postponed. But I think perhaps the greatest challenge for me as a mentor is just not really connecting with the protege. And when I look back on the many people that I've mentored over the years, I think perhaps the biggest lesson learned for me is to really focus in on them and not on me. And again, I think Toastmasters has wonderful materials for the mentor, because one of the things it does is it asks the protege to do a self-assessment. Well, duh. But then it asks the mentor to do a self-assessment. Okay. And the very heart-penetrating question is, what are you doing this for? What is your motive? Is it for glory? Is it about, or is it about the protege? And boy, that was a wake-up call for me. Perhaps it will be for you. Back to you, Diana.
So true, Fred. Thank you so much for bringing this to the table. I think one of the most important things that I got from doing my project was that wake-up call as a mentor, and finding the motivation and understand what you're bringing to the table and why are you doing that. Okay, let's go back to Linda. What would you tell an experienced mentor he or she could still work on?
That's a great question, Diana. And I would echo what Fred had to say about focusing on your protege. One thing that I think all of us can do as mentors is really keep an eye on the progress of your protege. I know that sounds intuitive, but I've seen many times that it really isn't. Our lives are busy, and so it goes for our proteges. Know what is coming ahead for them. Speeches, club roles, maybe work presentations, and then plan to proactively talk with them about what they hope to accomplish and what questions they might have. A stumbling block I see time and again is also that members are not completing their project self-assessments at the end of each of the projects. Therefore, they can't move on to the next level. I mean, this probably happens in our club at least once a month, maybe more often. So again, that's something I think the mentors can really help their proteges with that. And anytime they get stuck, that's the first question I ask. It goes back to that trait, I think, of dependability for the mentors. Be someone that she can count on. Back to you, Diana.
Thank you, Linda. That is great advice. I noticed in our club, I'm a member of Cranberry High Noon Toastmaster, if some of you missed the first part. And we didn't have anything in place for people that is on the later levels of the pathways to request mentorship again. So having that in place in our clubs, I think it's very important. And thank you for touching on those points and how has been your experience at your club. Let's go with JR again. Can you share a memorable moment that you had as a mentor? Excuse me, as a protege.
Thank you, Diana. Fellow Toastmasters. Yeah, when I was beginning as a Toastmaster, there were so many challenges, and I would crash and burn. You know, I would have these terrible moments when I was about to give a speech and too nervous, all those very depressing moments. And I remember my mentor, you know, bringing me and inviting me actually to a private meeting. We even have had this special location at Panera Bread in State College. And she would be this person always willing to offer a shoulder to cry on. So I think to me, I mean, my mentor was pretty much public speaking therapist, because whenever I was depressed, I would be able to talk to my mentor. And my current mentor, Fred, is serving that role too. And I think it's important for you to have a person like that in your life, especially when it comes to public speaking, who could always give you some hope and also courage to carry on. So in that sense, I think that's one of the most memorable things, actually, all these memorable moments I'm getting from my mentors these days. Continue to have those moments.
Thank you, JR. I agree. When you have that strong relationship with a mentor, it's not just about sharing your goals, but also your fears and come up with a plan to overcome those as well. And let's now hear from Yan again. Tell us how mentoring has impacted you personally or professionally.
Thank you, Dan, for the question. As I said, it's the benefit from the mentoring experience is tremendous for me. Personally, my confidential level boosted. At work, people notice, like my manager noticed the difference because my speaking skills, my confidence, also even the when we have a meeting, I can host the meeting, I can give feedback right away. This all benefit from with Toastmaster Club, the meeting, the experience. And about the mentor, certainly always like you, I have a fear for the language. English is not my first language. Like I not only have a difficult to go to do public speaking, but also how to speak in English. So it's like a double difficulty for me. But with the mentor, I have always encouraged me, even before the meeting, they will give me kind of a heads up. So the fear, I can gradually conquer the fear. I think once you conquer the fear, speaking in front of people, just everything come into place, and then practice and practice. So that's my experience. Back to you, Dan.
Thanks, Jan. I'm happy to hear about the leaps and bounds that you achieved through Toastmasters, and of course, the help of Linda here as your mentor. All right, I think we have a couple of minutes to take questions from the audience. If anybody would like to participate, you can either send it to the chat or unmute yourself. Do we have a volunteer? Linda.
Diana, one question that came to me over the chat was, is there a way for mentors to keep track of the progress of their protege? And unless you're a club officer, and even maybe just the vice president of education, the only real place that you can keep track of your protege's progress is once they finish the level 1, project 1 icebreaker. Once they submit that, they get a badge in their portfolio, in their feedback section of their profile. To my knowledge, until they finish a complete level, that's the only way that we know. And oftentimes that's the biggest stumbling block in our club, is getting people to finish up that, that icebreaker so that they can move on to project 2. So that's just a little suggestion.
Right. And personally, I tracked others projects because I'm helping them or things like those through our website. I don't know. I know not everybody does it, but if you use the Speak Easy website, you can download what their speeches had been, like historically in your club at least, and that also helps keeping track of that if you're not the VP, right? Thank you, Linda. I have
Diana, let me jump in and just say that if you are in the Pathways mentoring program, they have fabulous forms, and some of those forms are where you do a self-assessment after, both as the mentor and the protege. And one of the things you can do is go over the protege success plan, as I did with one of the proteges last week, to see how he's done. And he had done 6 out of his 8 goals, which was like, wow, including getting a promotion. Wow. So there are some good tools embedded in the Pathways mentoring program that provide a way to do feedback. I will also say that one of the weaknesses, which is, but also a strength, if there is no real defined curriculum. So it's kind of up to the protege to say to the mentor, hey, this is what I want to get out of it. And then to figure it out and put together some kind of program to do that. One last thing is, don't forget there's an opportunity to be a club mentor. So in addition to mentoring people, we can mentor a club. And every time we do an evaluation, aren't we doing mentoring and coaching? Well, maybe we are. Back to you, Diane.
perfect. Thank you. Here's a question. I think that's the last 2 we have time for today. From Ross Thompson, is there any thought of creating achievement levels for mentors? this might be more incentive to have mentors participate. Anybody wants to comment on that? If you have any info. I think, Ross, in my own experience, the Pathways Mentor Program it's one of the credentials, and I believe it's free for everybody. You don't have to pay extra for taking